Hey y'all, good evening. So listen, when I coach with my clients, one of the things that they ask me is, how do I do it? How do I stay healed with everything that I've been through, all the trauma, the abuse, the toxicity? Well, the way that I stay healed is I really do take accountability of my actions. I really don't hide from who I was, who I am today, the mistakes that I made, the choices that I make. That's a big one. I'm very much aware of the things that I do, why I do it, and what led me to the results that were manifested in my life, right? So accountability is big. Taking an assessment and being aware of self and of choices is also big. And so I wanted to share with you a little excerpt from my book, Beauty versus the Beast in Me, Mastering My Own Demons. I'm going to read a little. So, Proverbs 31:30 says, "Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who has the fear of the Lord shall be praised." And I went on to say, there is more to me than a pretty face. When you look at me, you may see the glitz and glamour, but you don't see my heart. You may see the glory, but you don't know my story. I have had relationships where men only focused on the exterior, never taken time to peel off the layers to get to the core of who I am. Maybe it was too much work. Maybe they were okay with the physical and material things I offered, the way I treated them, the way I looked, the way I complimented them, and the way I made them feel. I was nothing more to them than a trophy. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there because we're going to dive into this just a teensy weensy bit, if that's okay. That's on page 38 of my book, More Than a Pretty Face. I think the number one reason for me to stay in my healing is having the intention of wanting to stay healed. And because I've been through so much trauma and so much nonsense and so much stuff, right? I'm constantly reminding myself not to go back to a place that has me in this dark place, this place of brokenness, this place of feeling unworthy of the things that I truly desire in my life. And again, taking the assessment and seeing what aligns in my life and what is out of alignment in my life and moving accordingly, right? That is how I stay healed. Like, I'm never going to lock in a situation that I feel isn't in my best interest. And I want to talk about how when you're a healed woman, you have a very low tolerance for nonsense. You just don't deal with it because you realize that it is not worth your time. It's like when God allows you to go through something and you've been taken through something and you come out on the other side, you realize your worth. You realize just how valuable you are, and you realize how you do not have to seek validation and look for validation in your relationships with men. And that builds confidence, right? So those are the things that will help you stay healed and continue to flow in your healing. And even with just having like limited tolerance of BS and games being played and manipulation, listen, I'm just at a place in my life where it's black and white. It's no gray area for me. I don't want to guess it. I don't want to figure it out. I don't want to go with the flow to see what it's going to be. I need things defined. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're adults. At the end of the day, there's no misleading. At the end of the day, nobody's getting played. Like, it's not about an age thing. It's about a maturity thing. It's about a knowing in yourself. It's about being seasoned in your experiences, where you can see things, discern things, feel things, know things, and and recognize very quickly if something is going to be more fulfilling or less fulfilling in your life. And I think that when you operate in that capacity, you operate and move accordingly, that is how you stay healed, right? Because you're like, okay, this doesn't feel good. And I think also too, as a healed woman, we don't have the patience to teach men how to love us. I understand that some men don't know our love language. Some men don't know how to communicate. But to teach a man how to date, to teach a man how to love, to teach a man how to pay attention and be attentive to our need, you should be doing that. Like, we don't really have the patience to do that. That was your mama's job to do that, to teach you how to love a woman and to care for a woman and to provide for a woman and to do all of the things. And your experiences should have taught you how to do certain things, how to respond to a woman, how to edify a woman, how to uplift a woman, inspire a woman, things like that. So I think in our healing, we don't really have the patience or the tolerance to just hold someone's hand and give them step-by-step instructions. We just don't. It's either you observe, the woman, and you absorb it. You take it all in, and then you regurgitate that information, right? You're like, okay, I got it. I'm full. Now I can give, right? But I think we're just different, right? When we're in our healing, we are very different women. I think the frustration comes in when you have a man who's not in his full maturation of, knowing who he is and knowing what type of woman he desire, because he spent a lot of time wasting a woman's time, taking up space, and not matching the energy that woman creates and gives. And so I think, again, when we are in our healing, we communicate effectively. We know how to be precise. We know how to make requests versus demands. We know how to be in our soft life era, season, all of the things, right? We know how to, submit to a man's leading and allow him to be the head. We know how to do that. We've tested the waters. We've tasted and seen if it was good or not good. All that, right? And we have enough wisdom now to know, what we need to know to make a wise decision. And that helps us stay healed. Because when we were in our brokenness, we were desperate. We were needy. We were very codependent. We sought validation in our relationships, through intimacy, through sex, through, just saying, okay, I'm booed up, I'm claimed. For me, it's not necessarily about a title, but it's about a position in someone's life. Because if you don't have a position in someone's life and they don't consider you and they don't hold you at a regard, then you're just not that important, period. And you can't make that up. So I just want to encourage you that if you are in the beginning of your healing, you have a lot of decisions to make, but one of them is choosing you and being very clear on your worth and being very clear on who you are, what you really desire for yourself, and what you find to be, worthy of receiving in your life. And then you're going to move accordingly. You have to first be crystal clear about it, because if you are, operating and navigating in your brokenness, you're going to see things very cloudy and you want to accept anything. There's a saying, stand for something to fall for anything, or whatever the case may be. But it's true, when you are in your brokenness, you will accept all kinds of bull crap. You will receive lies just so that you can be comforted by something, which is self-esteem issues. And I just want to, maybe encourage you to dig a little into my book that I have here. This really wasn't about selling my book, because I have had many Amazon sales, many sales independently with my book. My book has been out since May 2019. And I'm very proud of the book, and I still study this book for myself to hold myself accountable of the things that I have been through, and knowing that I don't want to go back and repeat the same redundancies. I want to be very clear on my intention, and I want to be able to create the life I desire to live in the relationships I desire to experience. But sometimes, it isn't reciprocated. But nevertheless, I'm very clear. And this right here, this is a masterpiece. This is on Amazon, and it's less than $5 now. The book was initially $18.99, but you can get it under $5. So let me know in the comments if this video helped you in any way.